Now you ready?
No.
Okay. Season 3, episode 3, I Gotta Have Faith. This is Seeking Sister Wife.
Or Delusion. Gotta have delusion.
So I would feel really bad for these people, except that
They're awful.
Well, in at least 2 of the 3 couples, they're courting women that they met on social media after they had already appeared in the 2nd season of Seeking Sister Wife. So they know what they're doing. This is like the actress who goes on The Bachelor, which apparently, I didn't know that when I was younger, that a majority of people who go on these shows, like The Real World or Bachelor or whatever, they're all just trying to be actresses. And it's like, oh, I'll go on this show and be discovered. That's what I feel like most of these people are. So I actually don't feel that bad. Except the Merrifields.
Who are they?
That's Garrick and Danielle, or Daniela. The ones who just went to go meet the Brazilian, because they're actually got divorced, and she doesn't know yet.
Just to be clear, last season I thought the stupid one was the
Snowdens?
the Mormon.
The Colton?
Who talks super slow.
Oh, the Colton.
Tell you what though, nope, it's this guy.
It's Garrick
with the large and the small wife.
Oh, I wish we could have been filming, because when he said, oh, she's the tiny wife, and we call Danielle the large wife, we both went like, oh, and we looked at each other totally on cue, and he's like, I can't believe he said that.
That is dumb as hell.
But the thing is, well, also, the first 2 episodes, Garrick did not have a facial expression. I am so miserable. I am really excited. The second they get on that plane, they start heading to Mexico, he's like, she's so pretty, her hair's so shiny, and I'm like, oh, they got a divorce. Like, they didn't get a technical divorce. They got a divorce. She doesn't know it yet, and he is 100% in on his new wife. Well,
at least the sex.
No, I think he's like fully in.
He's a weirdo.
Well, I mean, clearly he's super excited about the sex. Basically, he refers to his wife as sister, which was like...
And large.
Well, yeah, large. But, I mean, it's the happiest he's looked. It's been a year since they last saw. They all go running up. Daniela, I couldn't even see. I'm so in shock about this whole thing every time they're on the screen. She's like, this is our thing. I think she's fully on board because it's the only way that he's happy. It's just awful. It's awful to watch. It's terrible. So
and he's still got the crazy eyes.
Still got the crazy eyes, but now they're like crazy happy. Anyway, so we're gonna get them off of the thing. Okay. So, because the other, and then Colton, we'll do the Winders. So this is the first time we've seen the Winders this episode. They're such a weird, you'd think they'd be more interesting, but they're just kind of bland. And when they did this, they like high-fived, the wives did. Did you see that? You were probably on your phone. Anyway, they're fundamental Mormons. They actually explain something about the fundamental Mormons that 15 years of sister wives I've either blocked from my mind. I know that was about the principle and how it brings us closer to God. They said that in fundamental Mormonism, not what we think of as Mormonism as the predominant, denomination. Fundamental Mormonism, which is what these polygamists are, sort of a...
back when they wouldn't allow blacks in the church and all that.
Right,
way before that.
I assume they've gotten rid of that. But anyway.
Yeah, they got rid of that in 1981.
Oof. Anyway, they talk about how they believe that God has multiple wives, and so to be more godlike, they should have multiple wives. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Also, they seem like the most like
I know
they're
just
not
boring,
normal, but
bland.
the most normal out of anyone in these shows, and like the least, like I'm bothered by them the least amount, and almost not at all.
Okay,
because they just seem like they want to do their thing and tell the geese that they're pluralists.
Someone did remind me on Twitter, though, about when they came out as Mormons, as polygamists, sorry. That was, I think, last season or the season before.
Oh, that was awkward.
And they were like, we're going to go out into town and he, like, is holding both wives, and they go to an empty park at, like, 2 in the afternoon, and no one's there but the ducks. And I think they decided they were going to have a birthday party. Remember that?
Yeah, it was
I'd
weird.
forgotten. And then they, like, went and told people.
It was like, the director's like, you guys have to do something.
Right. I actually kind of wondered if the directors were like, are you sure that this is The park. Oh yeah, there's always people at the park. Okay, we were not telling people they were polygamists.
They walked down the street because there was no one at the park.
They were telling people they were polygamists, and everyone's like,
Everyone's like, yeah,
okay.
This is Mormon country, and we don't care.
That's nice for you. There's like a camera, so they're like, okay.
Like,
good to meet you.
Anyway.
Kind of thing. Anyway, so they...
That's our level of normal.
They met this girl through...
The interwebs.
The interwebs, through their family social page, which just means that someone who saw the show, who like reached out to them.
And internet stalked them. So
I immediately think... for whatever reason, I think she's a horse girl. I bet you she has horses. Just hold out on me there.
You know what I think? I think she's probably got issues.
Well...
Big ones.
Anyway, so they asked her to come out and visit. The second wife is 7 months pregnant. So anyway, they've now all living together and they're in a house looking to expand. Okay, so let's go on. Joneses, Tasha and the magician. So they decide they're not going to go on the internet. They're just going to meet people in person. I'm pretty sure out of all of the groups,
it's totally like, hey, well, let's do this at a bar. And everybody who walks up to him is like, oh, this couple wants a threesome.
Yeah, no, I told John about the internet meme about like, hey, my wife really digs your energy. Is like every couple looking to swing. I get that energy from them. Most of the couples are very clear the wives are not involved. They have not said that, so I'm a little curious as to how that's going to work, because I would believe that they're anyway. So they're going to meet someone in person. They ask the bartender in the middle of the super busy bar. It's clearly been arranged ahead of time, because they asked her like, "Hey, can you sit and talk?" As far as I know, people who've worked in the food industry tell me, would you ever in the middle of a busy bar, looks like a busy bar to me, be like, "Yeah, sure, I'm going to sit down with this weirdo couple that wants to talk." And also, if you
hate your life and hate your job, yeah, I mean, maybe.
But I want to know if anyone's had this experience where a couple's like, yeah, we just really dig your energy.
We don't want to know about your experiences at bars with people.
John doesn't, but he doesn't read the comments, so don't you worry about what he wants. Anyway,
I don't want to know what you weirdos are up to.
They asked this bartender on a date, and all I could think of is, are those glasses cool now? But we're so old, we don't know what cool is. We shouldn't know what cool is.
My great-grandmother wore those glasses.
Anyway, so they're doing their thing. Oh, I kind of would have loved to see them get really, like, shot down. But anyway, she's like, I'm not really into polygamy, but I try to keep an open mind. You know, I try to keep an open mind about being on TV. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, and then lastly, we're going to get to the Snowdens. Now, you think that the Winders are more normal than the Snowdens?
Yeah.
Okay. Expand on that.
They don't go around saying they're spiritual and making crap up and putting dots on their heads because they're not part of any religion. That's weird.
That?
Yes, they have said that. Also, I mean...
Because a dot on the head is a religious practice. So if you're part of that religion, it makes sense.
It is a religious practice.
But if you're not part of a religious practice...
Lovely people, by the way. The Indians. I don't know the Snowdens. They seem weird.
Anyway, I just was curious because the Snowdens...
And clearly, he just wants to bang, and Mama just wants to rule the house.
Yeah. No, and she was like, I don't get jealous. And it's like, we saw you on the other 2 seasons.
Baloney!
So let's not get too much in that. Chrissy's visiting some from South Africa.
The only reason they dumped that first girl was because
they didn't. She packed up and left.
He banged her on
the first.
The first date after he thought the cameras left.
That's right. No, I think that was first season.
And she called it her disrespecting him. Mama. No, she left him right out of that.
Oh yeah, it was about the potential sister wife disrespecting Ashley. That's right. It's
not like her husband put his penis in her. Oh wait,
John, such language on our family-friendly channel.
I'm trying to be clinical. It's gross.
Okay. Anyway, they have this house. We grew up in Southern California. It looks like a very typical fine house. This is not an insult.
No, this is in Los Angeles County. It might be a fine house, but it probably costs $4 million.
Right. But my point is,
he's into like AI, so he's like.
He says
swimming in it.
No, he says he's an ontological architect. I think he comes from money. That's my guess. I think he comes from money and he has a job that
Regardless,
he dabbles in.
they have lots of money and they're looking to spend it on other women.
So they say, we have seen the Real Housewives. We know about all these people with lots of money who end up in jail for tax fraud.
I'll take them at the word until they prove otherwise.
Okay, but anyway, we're so off base. They're talking about adding Chrissy.
We're off base.
And 2 kids and Taylor. And I'm like, how big is this house that they're thinking they can fit 4 adults and 5 children? That's 9 people. And I was thinking, my point with the house was, it does not look like that big of a house to where you can comfortably fit that many people. We have a semi-big house. We're very rural, so we got a bigger house than we really needed. We have 3 adults, because my mother-in-law's with me, and 1 child. Little tight if you all work at home. But I'm guessing the idea is that these wives, one of them would work out of the house and one of them would stay home and watch the kids. So
somebody's got to do the maid duties.
Anyway.
Somebody's got to do the cooking.
So Chrissy seems to really like them. Crystalline seems to really like them. Had a date. They're kissing. She seems really into him. She's like crying when she has to go home. And then they kind of reveal, we saw it in the look aheads, but they have a second woman that they're courting who also found them through their social media, as did Chrissy. I'm like, okay, well, these people clearly saw the show. They know what they're getting into. I don't feel that bad. This is not.
I'm pretty sure that one from South Africa just wants to move her kids over to America.
Could be. I mean, it very well could be.
They should be on that other show
I think she's a model, though.
That's awful.
Isn't she a model?
So they say.
Okay, so
isn't everybody a model today with
then,
Instagram and their filters?
So then, don't you think she probably wants to come to LA to model?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
And it's a lot easier if you get married.
Right. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking it was more. I thought you were saying more about a green card, which I was saying it's more
Maybe they're going to do a crossover to that. What's that awful show you watched? That other one?
So many.
With they try to get the green cards from.
Oh, I only watched it a little bit. 90 Day Fiancé. I can't watch that too much because there's always someone being scammed. Whereas with this, especially the Snowdens, they know what they're getting into. I don't have to feel bad about them coming over and because everybody knows what's happening.
Everybody knows what Mr. Snowden wants.
Yes. And I see. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to say anymore. Okay.
It's going to get X-rated here quick.
No. Anyway, so tell us what you're thinking. Thoughts, feelings, whatever. Bye.